we're excited to be able to be there and participate, and excited about meeting all these amazing experts and masterminding with the pros. So we'll see you there. Well, Richard, what do you want to talk about?
Well, why not talk about our favorite subject?
And that would happen to be social media.
A la the Social Radio Show.
Precisely. I mean, we have been very, again, blessed with having opportunities to present workshops over the last few years. And in fact, we had 2 phenomenal workshops yesterday here, one in the Brevard County area and then one down in the Indian River County area as well.
At the Indian River
Chamber of Commerce.
Chamber, yeah.
And then at the Melbourne Regional Chamber yesterday afternoon. So it was a very full day, but a very blessed day, and meeting new people and sharing what we love to share. And that is tips and techniques and how to really tap into social media and have it work for you. Because I think that's probably one of the biggest challenges. Everyone knows they need to be on, and yet they're not quite sure which site to be on.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great
or how
question.
to make it work for them.
Well, yeah, we can get into that, but what sites? I mean, how do I know what site to choose? I mean, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, and Pinterest, and a whole bunch of more that are out there. I mean, where do I go? I mean, I'm a newbie in business, or I've just made that decision to start exploring the social media channels. How do I find out?
Well, we've talked about this a number of times amongst ourselves, as well as with clients and in workshops and such. And one of the things that we all need to stop doing is overthinking social media. Social media is nothing more than a communications site, a place to network. Don't try to focus on selling your services, your products, but start selling you. What I mean by that is let people get to know who you are. Be genuine. Build relationships. Have conversations. In fact, I shared on our WCN Interactive page yesterday a quote that one of the influencers in our industry that I follow, she put out, and it basically, if you go to WCNinteractive.com, you can see this post from yesterday afternoon. But basically, in the explanation, is that social media is a marathon. It's a journey. It's not a sprint. You have to be strategic in what you're putting together, and also you have to be patient. And
there's a tough word. I mean, you know me and patience. It doesn't go together in the same universe.
We live in a world of instant gratification, and it just isn't going to happen on social media.
And why is that?
Because it's all about networking. I mean, in fact, and again, getting to know people. You have a great analogy about face-to-face networking and social media.
Yeah. Face-to-face networking and social media are really synonymous. Yeah, one of them, you're at a networking event, and what do you do after you pick up all your business cards? You got this stack of business cards. By the next day, for me anyway, it's sometimes hard to put the face on there, and I do a lot of weird things just so I'm remembered the next day. I'll drop a pin, or if I'm holding a little attaché, I'll drop it. I'll do something when they go, hey, I was the klutz that dropped my keys, my book, or whatever it was. Okay. Mm-hmm. But what it sets up is I'll take that momentary embarrassment if it gets that deep, but it's a point that when I call the next day, I have a point of recognition other than people that picked up 50 business cards on that. I also have another little trick. Business card, most of them have 4 corners on them. I have a code that I bend my cards with, and I can do it on one hand. The people I'm talking to don't even know I'm doing it. In the upper right hand corner is, this is a must get to. I got to call this person back. On the upper left-hand corner is, okay, when I have a free moment, I can call this person back. Then we look at the bottom. On the bottom left, it's doubtful. on the bottom right, it's don't waste your time. And that's kind of cruel to say, but those are decisions you have to make every day in business. Your time is valuable.
That is so true. And I know myself when I'm networking or in any association and we're striking up a conversation with someone that you really want to get to know better. And, we're all strapped for time, and sometimes we're at events that we all live in different locations. So one of the first things I will actually ask them is, are you active on social media? And if so, which site is the site that you're most active on? And then I ask permission if I can connect with them. And then from there, we can continue the conversation. There's so many events that, here locally, or we go to Orlando a lot, we go to South Florida. We don't get there that often, but we meet people that we want to continue to build that relationship with. So what better way than start following them and learning from them on social media, helping them become a brand ambassador for them as you're building that relationship and sharing. I mean, that is the key ingredient on social media, is the sharing. When you can become a brand ambassador or have brand ambassadors share for you, it's kind of like we shared in our workshops yesterday, is that flipping of the funnel. Mm-hmm. In traditional marketing, we put out a lot of advertising, and this advertising is still relevant for many businesses today, but prior to social media, it was all the options we had, which was, radio advertising, TV advertising, direct mail pieces, print publications, etc. And, that could get quite costly. You had to really set a good budget to be able to have that continued advertising. But what you hoped for was that someone would drop through that funnel by, seeing your repetitive advertising and contact you or come through. And it was just those onesies and twosies. And now the way social media is, that funnel has flipped. It's upside down. So you have close associates, friends that you're connected with on social media that already know you and like you and trust you. They become your brand ambassadors, and they are the ones that are helping you get that reach, expanding that reach out there on social media. So again, there are some costs to social media, mainly time, but of course then within advertising, etc. But there is a way for you to get more brand awareness and a larger reach by just being you, being true, being genuine, and really consistent.
Very, very excellent points. And going back to what you said earlier, it's going back to Bob Berg's theory and the Go-Giver. You've got to build the know, like, and trust factor that's out there. Mm-hmm. First of all, if they don't know you, the results are obvious in that one. But the like is where the differentiation starts to really sitting in on that. They can like you, but there's many different shades of liking. I can sort of like you, or I can absolutely like you so much I just trust everything that you say. Mm-hmm. On that, and that's a big continuum there. But there's a lot of in between that goes there. But that's what social media can close the gap with. Mm-hmm. That you can sit there and carry on conversations, and beyond that, other people that are on social media that are either following you or the person you're communicating with, all of those people potentially can see that message. Realistically, maybe 20-25% will, but that's still a big number. I mean, between you and I, we're in the 1,000. More than that. But all of a sudden there'll be a fraction. If only 10% of those people are there, you're looking at 100, 125 people that are having access to this communication over the course of a day.
Precisely. Now, again, listeners, if you are out there today and have a question, we're here. Pick our brains. If you're not comfortable calling in, then go to Social Radio Show on Facebook, and on the top pin post, put in a question there. We have these 2 tickets. These are our last 2 tickets for the 9th Business Acceleration Summit that we want to give out today. Again, each of them are valued at $120. But that number, if you feel comfortable, we'd love to hear from you. 321-806-3159. And, talking about social media, again, a most common asked question is what social media site do I need to be on? I mean, there's so many of them. Do I have to be on all of them? And that is, one of the first lessons we teach everyone is you need to be where your customer or prospective customers are. That's where you're going to get the engagement and be able to be seen or be known before you're needed, get some top of mind awareness out there, connecting and attracting people to you by, again, just being a resource. And that is the key ingredient when you're posting. You want to attract people with the postings you're putting out there, and not about you, but about them. What questions do they have? So when you're creating your postings across any social media platform, you need to know what your ideal client their pain is, or what solution they're looking for, and share with them those tips, those tricks, those techniques, whatever you can. And, what are some frequently asked questions that you're asked about your product or service?
All right, we got a message that our producer just put up there. Mm-hmm. What are these buttons in the lower right-hand side that say buy now and shop and all these type of stuff? What are those?
The call to action buttons, and those, especially on Facebook, they have them on the cover images now. They're in the ads, and you'll see a lot of in your news feed, those right in the news feed, the stream of conversation. Then they're usually sponsored ads, and then they have that, click here to learn more, or click to download, click to register, sign up, etc. Those are call to action buttons, and what they're doing is they're providing you a way to drive traffic from Facebook to a landing page, to a web page, to an e-commerce site, somewhere where you can then gather an email and get them some information. And normally, when I click on those, very few of them are selling anything. They're actually going to maybe have you sign up for a free webinar or a video series that you can have dropped into your inbox, or perhaps an ebook or a white paper, etc. And what they're doing, the purpose of that is to really, again, strengthen that relationship and let people flavor you, get to know you a little bit better. Once they're comfortable, they like what they downloaded or they're viewing or reading, etc., then now they're going to be a little bit more receptive of maybe getting something from you that maybe costs a low amount of money. You would never want to put a huge package out to them, say, okay, now that you've downloaded my free product or my free tip sheet or whatever, buy from me. What you want to do is provide them, say, hey, here is, thank you for downloading my ebook, and others that downloaded the ebook were interested in this as well. And now you can upsell a little bit, maybe for only $9, but at least they've plugged that plastic down, and now they're building that next level of trust. So they're willing to maybe buy something bigger from you. So those are great call to action features that are on Facebook. I love them.
No, I totally agree with you on that. We've got another question that's come in. Is it worth, and I'm paraphrasing this is a long one, is it worth to actually pin a post to the top of Facebook? Is there anything there? Because they're saying about 20% of the people really go to your page. So you're the guru.
Well, I like pinning posts mainly because when you do get those new viewers coming to your page, if you really want to emphasize a post that you put up there, like I mentioned on the social radio show, I always pin our current show up there, a post about what we're talking about or who our guest is, and links, etc., to them. If it's a new viewer, they're going to see that first post, and if it is true, 95%, I think it's up to 96% now of the individuals that actually have clicked like on your Facebook page never come back. They only have an opportunity to see what you put in the news feed. And again, that is based on the Facebook algorithm, which all of the social platforms have that formula.
And none of them give it out.
And what that formula does, or the algorithm, actually determines who is going to see what on social media. And so if there is some fans on your page that are active, they're going to see more of your information coming through the news.